just can't stop now. No, trying to find a way out. Hey, feels like they won't let me move, let me breathe, let me leave, just like a maze, like a maze.
Yo, PolyRob, what up?
Yo, welcome to another episode of the PolyRob podcast, man. I appreciate y'all once again for tuning in. I am the Counselor PolyRob. Make sure y'all subscribe on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play. I love doing this. I love doing this for y'all. I appreciate it once again. And we're going to get right to it, man. You already know. Today's topic that I want to talk about is surviving social media. Surviving social media. Now, y'all know I got my medicine ball right in my hand. I'm from Starbucks. Shout out to Starbucks. And this morning when I was in Starbucks, the two guys that were before me ordering whatever they was going to order, the cashier had to wave them down for like a minute and a half because they were like deadlocked in their phones, on social media. One was on Facebook. I don't know what the other guy was on. He was probably texting. But one guy was on Facebook and, he was just deadlocked in his phone. You know what I mean? And that kind of drive the concept of me talking about this topic today, is surviving social media. Now, I know that's a hard thing to do for y'all, but surviving social media is not about not engaging. You know what I'm saying? It's about what to engage in. It's about what to tune into, and things like that. We'll get to it. So one of the biggest things that I believe, this is just my belief, y'all can believe it if y'all want, y'all cannot, it's up to y'all. But one of the biggest things I feel about social media is I feel like it's a reflection of how people normally communicate in the real world. I feel like social media is a reflection of how you really communicate in the real world. Let me explain. There's some people who like to vent. They like to vent. They like to talk about their problems. On social media, they post heavily about their emotions. And I feel like if there was somebody in front of them, they would do exactly the same thing. They would do exactly the same thing. For somebody who, loves to watch, people getting beat up on social media, people getting shot on social media. I feel like in real life, they would go to movies that reflect those type of scenes, that will reflect that because they're fascinated by it. For some people who, speak about words of encouragement, speak about trying to uplift people, giving people, good lights of faith. I feel like in real life, they would do the same thing. You know what I mean? Not all the time, but for most of the time, I feel like they would do the same thing in real life. So, in my idea of social media, which is, it's a process of how I deal with it. I feel like someone, however you post or whatever you do your thing on social media, I feel like that's a reflection of how we would communicate if I seen you in person or if I dealt with you in person. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I think that way, the reason why I would like to continue to think that way is because I'm just into the whole concept of show me who you are. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going for it's just social media. I just do it for social media. Fuck all that. No, fuck all that. Show me who you are. Especially for those who, people that I don't know. People that I don't know, I only have to judge you via what I see on social media. That's all I got. So you can tell me all day, like, this is not who I am. This is not really what I do. I don't know that. I don't know that. All I see is what you do on social media. Now you got your. I'm an advocate of social media. I fuck with it. You know, I fuck with social media early, really, really early. I started off with Facebook, then the Twitter, then it got the Instagram. They have all these other platforms like Snapchat and Twit and so many other different platforms. I choose to stick with the ones that I stick with. And make sure y'all follow me on all social media at Yo PolyRob What Up, YOPOLYROB WHATUP. I know it's long, but y'all get it. Y'all figure it out. And I've grown to respect and learn the pros and cons of social media. I've learned to understand the different pros about social media, the things that are good about social media, and then the things that are bad or that can possibly become bad if you misuse social media in the wrong context or in the wrong manner. So I want to break that down really quick. The pros of social media, especially coming from someone in the music industry. Let's talk about that. The pros of social media is, you know, you're able to touch the world. You can touch the world from your phone. You can touch the world from your computer. You don't have to spend millions of dollars traveling the world to, get to everybody. And let me just talk about from the music perspective. Let's talk about from the music industry perspective, because that's my career. That's what I'm into. We can touch the world. We can send somebody a record. We can send somebody a video. We can communicate with different people across the world and not have to leave your household. You don't have to leave your household and communicate with somebody that's in Tibet, somebody that's in China, somebody that's in, Australia. Shout out to A1 Crashing. He's in Australia right now. He always hits me up on Facebook Messenger if we want to talk. Beautiful thing. They have platforms like WhatsApp, which I still consider a social media thing. Even though it's a phone app, it still has elements where you can message and video chat and stuff like that. So I still consider that a social media thing. The second thing, social media can make your business or your brand a popular one. A popular one. You can actually do marketing and promotion and upscale the value of your brand via social media. How do you do that? You got to talk to these companies that specialize in that, like Local Astronauts and other companies. But you can make your brand or business popular straight from your phone. Straight from your phone. You can make your brand or your business popular. That's a big thing. I remember the days where, people, went to meetings with marketers, with, people who consult, which they still do now. It's just on a different scale. But you used to have to sit down and figure out a game plan and a marketing strategy to help your business grow. putting together flyers, physical flyers, putting together banners, doing billboards, calling homes, flyers, doing email. No, at first doing actual mail, mail promotions and then email. Now it's like you can do a bomb ass commercial on social media and do some ads via Facebook ads or Instagram ads, and you could be booming. You can be booming. Businesses that have grown from social media, a lot of food truck businesses, they grow from social media. A lot of food businesses, period. Shout out to Taco Bell. Shout out to Billionaire Burger Boys. Shout out to Blue Kitchen. Shout out to Trap Kitchen. These are companies that have built their name for their good food and the promotion on social media and made themselves a staple in their town for good food. Whereas a Burger King or a McDonald's or a KFC or a Taco Bell have commercial ads, TV ads, promotions through other companies. These smaller food companies promote on social media and show the world how good their food is and created a brand for themselves. That's a big thing. And anybody can do it. Anybody who sign up with an account can do it. The third thing, create income. You can actually make money from social media. Come on, man. You can make money from social media. If you got enough followers, you can charge people to post things. You can charge companies to promote products. You can actually sell products on social media. Facebook now has a platform where you can actually sell products on social media. You can sell tickets on social media. It's a big thing. Instagram, you have enough followers, you can put a post on your story and tell them to swipe up, and it'll be a link to buying a shirt or buying a CD or downloading a record or buying some food, delivery. You can make money from social media. That's major. A major pro. You can sit at home and figure out a scheme to make money just being on social media. We've seen people do it. And people are still doing it. The cons. The cons about social media. Now, keep in mind that any bad things that come from social media usually comes from people just overusing it, people just being obnoxious, or people having a false sense of what social media is supposed to be used for. And that's what creates, the cons of social media. So let's go down the line. First, you get a false sense of friendship on social media. You might be following somebody for like 2-3 years. You'll be following somebody for 2-3 years. They've commented, you've liked their post, they've liked your post. And then all of a sudden, you start to get in your brain like, yo, I really know this person. You start to get that really in your brain. And then when y'all finally meet up, let's say if y'all do meet up, it's like, oh no, you're Super Chocolate 367. Oh, yeah, yeah, I remember you. You're Pimp Daddy 323. Y'all don't even know each other's real names. One of the cons about social media is it gives you a false sense of friendship. It's not real. The friendship is not real. I don't care how many times you post or comment or DM. It is a false sense of friendship. You guys haven't done anything together. I know people to this day that I've been knowing on social media for years, and I never met them before. How real is that? I know people that I have known for a very long time via social media that I do not call my friend because they're not. They're a follower. I'm a follower of them. They're not my friend. Sorry to say that. And it may seem like I have a high qualification of what justifies what a friend is, but I'm pretty sure I gotta fucking see you first before I can classify you as a friend. We have to have hung out somewhere for me to classify you as some type of friend. Just comments on social media, not cutting it. Not cutting it. I don't get that. So, in light of that, don't get me wrong. There are some good people in the world, and I still there's people on social media that I converse with constantly, and we have a good standing relationship between each other. Not necessarily a friendship, but we have a good standing, we're talking to each other, we're in tune with each other. But until other elements transpire, they're not technically my friend, and they understand that, and I understand that. So that's one of the things. It gives you a false sense of friendship, and that fucking sucks because there's some great people in the world that you would love to meet, especially like overseas and in other places. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't classify them as a friend. I'm just saying I don't technically classify them as a friend until I see them. And I've met people on social media that I've actually traveled to go see. They've traveled to come see me. We've linked up in different cities and poly together and did what we did. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible. I just choose not to. I choose not to classify people on social media as just friends. As friends, period. Because there's other elements that goes along with me classifying you as a friend. Social media, one of the cons, you fucking lose focus. You lose focus. Fast, too. You lose focus very fast. One of the problems with anything that you would enjoy doing is the fact that you would enjoy doing it so much that you will forget other elements of your life or other responsibilities that you would need to partake in to stay afloat, stay doing your thing. And social media is the biggest thing these days for you to lose focus. There's been time for me. There's been time where I'm on social media so much, laughing at comments, laughing at videos, having a good fucking time. I fucking forget to start working. I forget to send this email. I forget to send this invoice. I forget to, you know what? Nah, I'm not even finna pull up to this event. There's been times like that. because I'm entertained so much by social media, I don't be wanting to go nowhere sometimes. And that's crazy because it's like, how can something so basic take up so much of our time? I know people who stop their day from getting money to be on social media. I've seen long Facebook comments that people have been typing for the past hour that they could have been doing something else more productive. Or they could have been doing something productive on social media, but instead they just reading comments and posting comments. Shit is crazy, man. So it's hard to survive through that because it's so much stuff that's so interesting. Think about it. Think about 100 people in one room, right? 100 people in one room, and everybody is on their phone. Y'all seen it. Y'all see the memes from it. Everybody is on their phone in this one room of 100 people. Nobody's talking to each other. And if they do talk to each other, it's like, oh, yeah, how you doing? You good? Yeah, I just seen that post that you posted. Yeah, I'm going to re-like it. I'm going to repost it. And then they continue on. One of these shows that I love on Netflix is called Black Mirror. Black Mirror is fire. If anybody watches Black Mirror, I salute y'all. Anybody that doesn't watch it, please go watch Black Mirror. Fire. They had this episode where it was a girl that was trying to grow up and do her thing in the world. She was a young woman, and the episode was set up to where social media was the currency for the world. Let me explain. Every time you encounter somebody, they get the opportunity to grade you on how that encounter was, and you have an opportunity of grading them. And depending on how many times you have gotten a good score, it'll raise your value for you to be able to spend money and buy groceries, buy a car, buy a house. Everything was dependent on what social media, the social media growth that you had. And I thought that was very interesting that they made that type of episode. If you don't watch Black Mirror, please go watch Black Mirror and watch that episode. I think it's in the second season. I believe it's in the second season. And that was very interesting because it's kind of how life is now. Like, people are judging your value based on your social media. That's how they base how dope you are, how good you are, how terrible you are. They base it off of social media, which is, hey, all due respect to all the companies, y'all making y'all money and doing y'all thing. But for us that's on social media, what do you think that does to us? What do you think that does to our communication with other people? What do you think that does to our survival of who we are and where we're trying to go? Think about that for a minute. It's crazy. Last con of social media. And this is the one I hate. It makes you emotional. Oh, goodness. Don't already be an emotional person already. You're gonna be emotional times 20. Social media, for those who cannot handle it, makes you undoubtedly very emotional. It's crazy. I've seen people display their whole lives on social media, either looking for sympathy, either looking for confirmation, looking for someone to help them out. It's getting too ridiculous, y'all. Y'all don't have no friends in front of y'all? None? No friends in front of y'all. That y'all have to explain a situation between you and your girlfriend or you and your boyfriend through social media? Oh, and don't let nobody comment and really tell you about yourself. Don't let nobody do that. Oh, you hate them immediately. You immediately hate them. Man, I posted something on a colleague's post. She was talking about, why when I get on social media, it's always people talking about, sex and fucking and trying to get a man or a woman and shit like that. People need to cut that shit out. They need to talk about business. They need to talk about growth. They need to talk about stuff like that. And I posted because I know her and I know what she's about and I know what she's done on social media. Great person, good head on her shoulders, do her shit. But she posts the same wacky shit that everybody else be posting. Not all the time. But yes, you've contributed to the raunchy sex, talking about relationships, talking about fuck boys and bitch ass bitches, and you contributed to that. So I posted, coming from someone who does the exact same thing. Don't try to be the teacher when you're still learning yourself. Left it at that. And I said, congratulations on your new business venture. And she went off in a whole frenzy talking about, I'm a hater. Why? When have you ever posted? When have I ever posted something that was about sex and relationships? I'm like, you don't read your own posts? You don't read your own shit that you be on? And she got into a whole back and forth thing about whatever. So I decided to leave it alone. But one of my things in my brain was, all of a sudden, everybody's so smart and everybody woke. As soon as you get one piece of information, which the information came from me and one of my good boys, shout out to Lou. Once you get some piece of information, now all of a sudden you're a scholar or you're the teacher at whatever this is, not like you've been doing it. And now you want to teach the world. Like, nah, you was bathing in the same shit you talking about. So continue to be a student and continue to learn. And maybe you might get somewhere for real. But what I'm saying is, when I made that comment, it made her emotional immediately. I'm cool. I'm chilling. But it made her emotional immediately. Because that's what social media do. It makes you get emotional so quick. Especially when somebody's typing. Y'all know what it is. Like when somebody's typing something, how they type it and what they mean is never the same. So they can mean it a different way from how they type it. And you're going to take it a different way from how they're typing it. It's almost like a 20% chance that you're going to interpret what somebody's saying the right way on social media. It's like a 15 to 20% chance that you're going to actually interpret what somebody really means on social media. The percentage is that low. It's that low. Because people automatically be like, oh, well, why you say it like that? Or, oh, why you hating? Or they go into that fast. Especially when they defensive when they know something is wrong. You know why? It's because social media is a reflection of how people communicate in real life. So if they take something offensive when you post it on social media, 9 times out of 10 in real life, they're going to take it the wrong way in person when you say it. That's my reason for saying it's a reflection of how people communicate. How can we survive this social media thing? Because it's a real thing. And it's here for a little while longer. So how do we survive through this shit? Because if you don't use it in the right manner, you can really miss out on some amazing shit. I got people who do real good business. I got people who are real, marketers, people who are real branders, people who are real PR people. Shout out to Monique Green, a real PR that really get it in. How do we survive this social media thing? We can't let it destroy us. We cannot let this thing destroy us. We got to figure out a way to keep this shit going the right way. So these are my ideas of how we can survive this social media thing. Number one, there's not no specific order. Stick to 1 or 2 platforms. Stick to 1 or 2 platforms. You don't have to be on all social media platforms. You can make an account for all of them, but you can be on, like for me, I'm on Instagram and Facebook majority of the time. When I post on Instagram, it automatically goes to my Facebook. When I post on Instagram, it automatically goes to my Twitter. When I post on Facebook, it goes to Instagram and Twitter. And when I post on, every now and then, I post on Twitter. What I really don't, it'll go to Facebook. So I know Instagram and Facebook is my go-tos. I had Snapchat for a minute. I got an account, but I deleted that shit. Because I'm not finna post on a story on Snap and then post on a story on Instagram and then post on a story on Facebook. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing all of that. It's too much. Stick to 1 or 2 platforms. Unless you have help managing your platforms. And that's only if you have a big following on 1 or 2 of your platforms. Then you get some help. If you're under 300,000 followers on any platform, you don't need no fucking help. You don't need no help. Number 2. This is what I love to do. Make social media a reflection of your presence. Make social media a reflection of your presence. Let me explain. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm doing this on social media because it's just something, it's for play. But in real life, I'm something different. Now that starts to confuse people because if you on social media shaking it and shaking ass and doing what you're doing, in real life, you can't expect for somebody to say, hey, what's going on, Queen? How you doing? They want to see you shake it in real life. And don't get mad at them because that's all that they see. That's all that they see. So my remedy to that is make social media a reflection of your presence. For me, I'm a producer. I'm an engineer. I'm a songwriter. I run a company, Local Astronauts. I'm about positivity. I'm about having fun, and I'm about that workload. So everything that you see on my social media is a reflection of that. You see me producing on social media. You see me mixing records and engineering and recording cats on social media. You see me songwrite with singers on social media. You see me have fun. You see me say encouraging words. I'm always posting about the workload. You constantly see me posting about the workload on social media. And I love my family and I love my kids. So you see me post that. My social media is a reflection of my presence. When you see me in person, it is the same thing as what you see me doing on social media. Exact same thing. That's for me, because I don't want to give someone a misconception of what I do and who I am. So when they see me in person, I want them to be like, yo, you be producing, you be doing your shit. I don't want them to say, yo, I'll be seeing you producing and doing your shit. And I'd be like, nah, I'm not really no producer, fam. I just do that shit for social media. No! For the ladies, if you complaining on social media, best believe we think you complaining in real life. You can't post all this shit, fuck these people, fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches be hating. And then in real life, you like, oh no, I'm about the earth, I'm about good vibes. Like, no, we see what you posting. So that's a reflection. That's how we perceiving it. So my advice to y'all on surviving this social media thing is, man, make social media a reflection of your presence. That is a beautiful thing for you to see, the shit that you do in social media, and you can see it in real life. And this doesn't go for actors per se, people who are acting in the film industry, because they have a duty to uphold a particular character, sometimes on social media, in order to get, recognition, ratings, stuff like that. So they don't have to do that. Some artists, majority of the artists still, I feel like, should take that same oath, but they don't have to do that. But if you're a normal person, if you got a business that you're trying to get off the ground, man, just having a calm, a basic reflection of who you are in real life will do you some good. Number 3, this is one thing I don't do. I don't follow negative people. Not doing it. Not doing it. I don't care who you are. You could be my best friend. You could be my auntie, uncle, grandma, grandpa. I'm not doing it. I'm not following negative people. It's not going to happen. Let me explain why. Negative people is just like TV. When you watch TV, especially if you're watching the reality shows, you watching it for entertainment. But in the back of your mind, subconsciously, you're taking in all that information. So when you're in a relationship, you're watching a reality show, you're watching a relationship fall apart. Then in real life, you start seeing those symptoms or whatever symptoms that was on the reality show. And subconsciously, you start to think about those situations. And all of a sudden, you get in an argument with your man or woman or whatever, and shit going bad. I'm not doing it. I'm not following negative people, because I feel like negative energy and people who bring about negative energy is going to filter into me. I don't want that. So don't bring it to me. I'm not following negative people. People who post shit about, man, I hate when people be hating, and I'm unfollow. Oh, you post shit like, fuck all these people. I I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't block. Block. People who be on there be like, I'm by myself. I don't trust nobody. Block. Block. I don't care about none of that. None of it. I'm not doing it. I'm not following no negative people. I don't care if it's your job and that's what you do. I'm not following no negative people. Because you're not finna bring none of that energy to me. I'm not doing it. And me personally, just my preference, I don't follow people who put gruesome shit, on social media. Like you post a clip of somebody getting their head blown off. I'm not following you. I don't care for what reason, so you can show people that shit is real out here. I don't give a shit. I'm not posting it. I'm not watching it. I'm not following you. I'm not doing it. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from the streets. Shit get real all the time. I don't want to see that shit. I'm hoping the shit won't happen. I don't want to see that. Last thing before I get up out of here. One of the things I feel like is necessary to survive in this social media shit is really have something to offer your followers. Really have something to offer your followers. They following you. They watching your move. They watching your moves. They watching what you do. They watching what you into, what you like to read, what you like to do, who you like to hang around. Really have something to offer them. What I mean by that is, it would be a great thing for somebody to come to your page to get words of encouragement. It would be great for somebody to come to your page to get hair tips. It would be great for somebody to come to your page to talk about the best food that they've ever had, or a food spot you should try out, or, little hobbies or different things that, people love that they can watch you and figure out how to upgrade or figure out how to love it more. We in this world, man, and we always about taking. We're always about taking, reference back to my good energy episode. How about we give, man? How about we give some shit to people, man? Let's give off some good shit. How about that? Really have something to offer your followers. They will appreciate you a lot more. They will appreciate social media itself a lot more. Knowing that there's people in the world that's trying to give off something good to the people that follow them. Something that's not a CD or a song or a shirt or something like that. For me, I like to give good vibes. When you see me go live, my podcast, I want to talk about stuff that can help y'all grow or help y'all be notified about certain things. When you see me making records, I want to inspire those that want to make records too, or want to do anything, that's involved with workload. That's why I always put workload, because I want y'all to understand, like, working is enjoyment. Enjoy getting to it. Enjoy working. Enjoy, getting to the next level. It's a beautiful thing. That's what I want to offer the people who follow me. And I appreciate y'all following me, because y'all feel like I got something, a part of my life that's interesting enough to keep in tune with. And I appreciate that. Surviving social media is a real thing. And we got to find out a way to make it work for us and not work for them. I'm going to say it again. We got to figure out a way for social media to work for us and not work for them. That's important, man. For everybody that you follow, I want y'all to do one thing for me before I get up out of here. I want y'all to take some time out. It may not be today, whenever y'all can. Man, go through y'all followers. I know y'all be trying to shave down your followers because y'all like, oh, if I'm not fucking with you, I'm going to delete you. No. Go through your followers. Look at some of their pages and see what they talking about. See what they talking about. Are they offering something to you that you can take? You know what I'm saying? Can you take something from them and learn and expand? Try to find those people. The people that's negative, that be negative on their shit, I don't care if you their friend in real life. Man, delete them motherfuckers off social media. Delete them motherfuckers. See them in real life and then chop it up with them. But if they speaking negativity, delete them motherfuckers off social media. Because it's going to filter off into you. Don't listen to the shit that they be on. Be on some real ill positive shit. You know what I'm saying? And try to figure out how to get some money. Try to figure out how to get some money off the social media shit. Because guess what? The company's getting tons of money. So y'all need to figure out how to get some money out of them because they're getting money out of you. For real. This is my podcast, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Surviving social media. Make sure y'all go and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play, man. This is the PolyRob podcast. Make sure y'all listen to all the episodes if you haven't listened to all the episodes. And, man, leave comments. Leave comments. I appreciate everybody that's on live, that's showing love. Leave comments, leave likes, and tell me what y'all want to talk about, man, because I like, I'm about growing. I'm about expanding, you know what I'm saying, and doing the right shit, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. This is the PolyRob podcast. I'm out of here.